Welcome back, everybody. We are picking up where we left off at in Children of Blood and Bone. Make note, this is the last Sip We Repeat episode in this format. I'll reveal the details of that on another episode. Let's get started, shall we? Last we left off, our trio was on a ship where they found the stone they need, but it appears they have to fight for it. Right now, we are not picking off immediately where we left off in the story because we are starting on chapter 24, Inan. The distant shouts of stalkers ring over the faint clicks of construction. Kaya's disgruntled barks reign over them. Though reluctant, she appears to be taking the assembly lead. After 3 days under her rule, the bridge is almost complete. But as our path to the other side of the mountain grows, I'm no closer to finding any clues. No matter how far I get, the temple is an enigma, an endless mystery I can't crack. Even loosening my hold on my magic isn't enough to track down the girl. I'm running out of time. If I'm to have any chance at finding the girl, I have to let all my magic in. The realization haunts me, challenging everything I believe. But the alternative is far worse. Duty before self. Orisha first. Taking a deep breath, I released every last restraint bit by bit. The ache in my chest decreases. With time, the sting of magic rises to my skin. I hope the scent of the sea will hit me first. But like every day thus far, only the scent of timber and coal fills the narrow halls. When I turn a new corner, the scent becomes overwhelming. A turquoise cloud hangs in the air. I pass my hand through it, allowing Leakin's lingering consciousness to break in. Leakin, stop! Shrieks of laughter ring when I turn another corner. I press against the cool stone as the Centauro's memories overtake me. Phantom children pass, each squealing and painted and naked. Their joy bounces and echoes, sharp against the rock walls. They're not real, I remind myself, heart pounding against my chest. But even as I try to hold on to the lie, the mischievous glint in a child's eyes champions the truth. Torch in hand, I move on, rushing through the temple's narrow halls. For a moment, a whiff of sea salt hangs in the air, shrouded in the scent of coal. I turn the corner and another turquoise cloud appears. I race to it, teeth clenching as the new flash of Leakin's consciousness takes hold. His timber scent becomes overwhelming. The air shifts, a soft voice sounds. But do you have a name? My body goes rigid. Amari's timid form materializes before my eyes. My sister stares at me in apprehension, fear clouding her amber gaze. An acidic scent wafts into my nostrils. My nose wrinkles at the burn. Everyone has a name, child. Oh, I did not mean Leakin. His voice booms in my head. Olami Leakin. I almost laugh when I see Amari. She looks ridiculous in commoner clothes. But even after all this, she's the same girl I've always known. A web of emotions, spinning behind a wall of silence. My own memory breaks in. The brief look we shared across the broken bridge. I thought I'd be her savior. Instead, I was the cause of her pain. My wealth is increased? Leakin's memory of the Maji girl emerges. She flickers to life in the burn of the torchlight. You remember our tongue? Bits and pieces, she nods. My mother taught it to me when I was young. Finally, after all these days, the scent of the sea hits me like a gust of wind. Yet, for the first time since our paths collided, the girl's image doesn't make me reach for my sword. Through Leakin's gaze, she is soft yet striking. Her dark skin seems to glow in the torchlight, highlighting the ghost behind her silver eyes. She is the one. Leakin's thoughts ring in my mind. Whatever happens, she must survive. The one for what? I wonder out loud. Only silence answers. The images of the girl and Amari fade away, leaving me staring after where they used to be. Her scent disappears. Though I try to reach for the flash again, nothing happens. I'm forced to move on. As my footsteps echo through the temple's nooks and crannies, I feel the change in my body. Suppressing my curse has become a constant drain, a draw on every breath. Though the buzz of magic in my head still makes my stomach clench, my body revels in its new freedom. It's as if I've spent years drowning underwater. For a moment, I get to suck in the air. With deep breaths, I press on through the temple, traversing the halls with a new vigor. I chase after the ghost of Leakin, searching for answers, hoping to find the girl again. When I turn another corner, the scent of his soul overwhelms me. I enter the domed room. Remnants of Leakin's consciousness pulse stronger than they have all week. A turquoise cloud seems to encompass the entire space. Before I can brace myself, the room flashes in white. Though I stand in the shadows, Leakin's consciousness bathes the jagged walls in light. My jaw drops as I study the stunning mural of the gods. Each portrait floods with brilliant color. What is this? I breathe in awe. I breathe in awe of the magnificent sight. The paintings are so expressive, they appear to come to life. I lift my torch to the gods and goddesses, to the Magi who dance at their feet. It's imposing, invading. It unravels everything I've been taught to think. Growing up, Father led me to believe that those who clung to the myth of the gods were weak. They relied on beings they could never see, dedicating their lives to faceless entities. I chose to place my faith in the throne, in Father, Orisha. But now, staring at the gods, I can't even bring myself to speak. I marvel at the oceans and forests that spring from their touch, at the world of Orisha created by their hand. A strange joy seems to breathe within the layers of paint, filling Orisha with a light I didn't know it could hold. Seeing the mural forces me to see the truth, confirming everything Father told me in the throne room. The gods are real, alive, connecting the threads of the Magi's lives. But if all of that is true, why in the sky's name has one forged a connection with me? I scan each portrait again, observing the different types of magic that seem to spring from the god's hands. When I come to a god dressed in rich cobalt robes, I pause. My cursed magic flares at the sight of him. The god stands tall, imposing, with chiseled muscles. A dark blue ipele stretches across his broad chest like a shawl, vibrant against his dark brown skin. Turquoise smoke twists in his hands, just like the wispy clouds that appear with my curse. When I move my torchlight, a pulse of energy travels under my scalp. Leakin's voice booms in my head as another blue cloud appears. Ori, take the piece from Sky Mother's head to become the god of mind, spirit, and dreams. On Earth, he shared this unique gift with his worshippers, allowing them to connect with all human beings. God of mind, spirit, and dreams, I whispered to myself, putting all the pieces together. The voices, the flicker of others' emotions, this strange dreamscape I found myself trapped in. This is it, the God of my origin. Anger thrashes inside me with the realization. What right do you have? A few days ago, I didn't even know this God existed, yet he took it upon himself to poison me. Why? I shout, voice echoing inside the dome. I almost expect the God to shout back, yet only silence answers me. You'll regret this, I mutter to myself, not knowing if that makes me insane or if somewhere, despite all the noise of the world, he can hear me. The bastard shall rue this day. The magic he's cursed me with will be magic's undoing. My insides twist and I whip around, stomach clenching as I call on my curse even more. There's no fighting it. To find the answers I need, there's only one place I can go. I slide to the ground and close my eyes, letting the world fade as magic slithers through my veins. If I'm going to kill this curse, I need it all. I need to dream. Chapter 25, Zele. Is it clear? Amari peeks through the stone halls leading away from the arena floor. Crumbling arches curve over our heads, cracked stones under our feet. After footsteps pass, Amari nods and we dash. We weave in and out of the weathered pillars, rushing to make it through before we're seen. Hours after the last man died and the spectators had left their seats, the guards drained the arena's Red Sea. I thought the horrors of the games would end there, but now the cracks of canes echo through the empty stands. Guards command a new batch of laborers to clean up the blood and gore that wasn't washed away when they drained the stadium. I can't fathom their torture, cleaning up tonight's mess only to become tomorrow's carnage. I'll come back, I decide. I'll save them. After I perform the ritual and bring magic back, after Baba is safe and sound, I'll rally a group of grounders to sink this monstrosity into the sand. That announcer will pay for every wasted diviner life. Every noble will answer for their crimes. I let thoughts of vengeance soothe me as we press against a jagged wall. I close my eyes, concentrating as hard as I can. The sunstone stirs the ashe in my blood. When I open my eyes, its glow is faint, like a firefly fading into the night. But with time it grows until the sunstone's aura heats the bottom of my feet. Below us, I whisper. We move through empty halls and descend the stairs. The closer we get to the arena's rot-stained floor, the more men we have to dodge. By the time we reach the bottom, we're practically a finger's breadth from the crooked guards and broken laborers. Their canes crack over our footsteps. We slip beneath a stone archway. It's here, I hiss, pointing to a large iron door. Bright light shines through the slits, filling the archway with the heat of the sunstone. I run my fingers over the metal door's handle, a rusted turnwheel caught by a giant padlock. I whip out the dagger Zane had given me and jam it into the lock's narrow keyhole. Though I try to push forward, I'm blocked by an intricate pattern of teeth. Can you pick it? He whispers. I'm trying. It's more complex than a typical lock. To get through, I need something sharper, something with a hook. I grab a thin, rusted nail on the ground and press it into the wall, curving its point. When it's bent, I close my eyes and concentrate on the delicate touch of the lock's teeth. Be patient. Mama Agba's old lesson echoes through my mind. Let feeling become your eyes. My heartbeat spikes as I listen for the sound of any footsteps approaching. But when I push the knife, the teeth yield. One more shimmy to the left and a small click sounds. The padlock breaks free, and I'm so relieved I almost cry. I grab the wheel and pull it to the left, but the metal won't give. It's stuck. Amari keeps watch as Zane yanks at the rusted wheel with all his might. The metal groans and screeches loud enough to drown out the shouts of the guards, but the wheel doesn't budge. Be careful, I hiss. I'm trying. Try harder. The wheel rips off with a strained crank. We stare at the broken metal in Zane's hand. What in God's names are we supposed to do now? Zane rams his body into the door. Though it shudders with the impact, it refuses to give. You'll alert the guards, Amari whispers. We need the stone, Zane whispers back. How else are we going to get it? I cringe with each thrust of Zane's body. But he's right. The stone is so close. The heat of its glow warms me like a freshly lit fire. A string of curses run through my mind. Gods, if only we had another Maji's help. A welder would be able to warp the metal door. A burner could melt the handle right off. Half a moon, I remind myself. Half a moon to do this right. If we're going to recover the sunstone in time for the solstice, we need to get it tonight. The door budges a millimeter, and I gasp. We're close. I can feel it. A few more knocks and it'll fly open. A few more pushes, and the sunstone is ours. Hey, A guard's voice booms through the air. We freeze in response. Footsteps pound against the stone floors, thundering toward us with frightening speed. Over here, Amari gestures to a section just past the Sunstone's door, lined with cannonballs and crates of blast powder. As we crouch behind the crates, a young diviner dashes into the room, white hair glowing in the dim light. In seconds, he's cornered by the announcer and another guard. They skid to a halt when they see the half door open to the Sunstone. You maggot, the announcer's lips peeled back into a snarl. Who are you working with? Who did this? Before the young boy can speak, the crack of the announcer's cane cuts him down. He collapses to the stone floor. As he screams, another guard joins in the beating. I flinch behind the crate, tears stinging my eyes. The boy's back is already ripped raw from former beatings, but neither monster lets up. He'll die under their blows. He'll die because of me. Zele, no. Zane's hiss stalls me for a second, but it's not enough to stop me. I burst free from our hiding spot, fighting my nausea when I see the child. Angry tears cut through his skin. Blood streams down his back. He clings to life by a thread, one that frays before my eyes. Who the hell are you? The announcer sees, withdrawing a dagger. My skin prickles as he nears me with its black magicite blade. 3 more guards run to his side. Thank gods, I force a laugh, searching for the words to fix this. I've been looking all over for you. The announcer narrows his eyes in disbelief. His grip tightens on his cane. Looking for me? He repeats. In this cellar? By the stone? The boy moans, and I flinch as a guard kicks him in the head. His body lies motionless in the pool of his own blood. It looks like a killing blow. But why can't I feel his spirit? Where's his last memory? His final pain? If he went straight to Alethea, I might not feel it. But how can anyone pass in peace after a death like this? I force my gaze back on the snarling announcer. There's nothing I can do now. The boy's dead. And unless I think of something quick, I'm dead too. I knew I'd find you here. I swallow hard. Only one excuse will do. I want to enter your games. Let me compete tomorrow night. You cannot be serious, Amari exclaimed when we finally entered the safety of the sands. You saw that bloodbath. You felt it. Now you want to be in it? I want the stone, I yelled back. I want to stay alive. Despite my fire, the image of the beaten boy crawls back into my head. Better that. Better whipped to death than blown apart on a ship. But no matter how hard I try to convince myself, I know the words aren't true. There's no dignity in a death like that. Whipped to his last breath for something he didn't even do. And I couldn't even help his spirit pass on. I couldn't be the reaper he needed if I wanted to. The arena's crawling with guards, I mumble. If we couldn't grab it tonight, there's no way we can steal it tomorrow. There's got to be something, Zane jumps in. Grains of sand stick to his blood-covered feet. He won't keep the sunstone here tonight after all this. If we figure out where he stores the stone next, we have 13 days before the solstice. 13 days to cross Orisha and sail to the sacred island. We don't have time to search. We need to get the stone and go. The sunstone won't be of any use to us when our corpses line the arena floor, Amari says. How will we survive? The competition leaves everyone dead. We won't be playing like everyone else. I reach into my pack and pull out one of Leakin's black scrolls. The white ink glistens on its label, translating into reanimation of the dead. The incantation was a common practice for reapers, often the first technique Numaji mastered. The magic grants its caster the aid of a spirit trapped in the hell of Apidi, in exchange for helping that spirit pass on to the afterlife. Of all the incantations in Leakin's scroll, this was the only one I already knew. Every moon, Mama would lead a group of reapers to the isolated mountaintops of Ibadan and use this incantation to cleanse our village of trapped souls. I've been studying the scroll, I rush out. It has an incantation my mother casted often. If I can master it, I'll be able to transform dead spirits in the arena into actual soldiers. Are you deranged? Amari cries. You could barely breathe in the stands with all those spirits. It took you hours to regain your strength and walk out. If you cannot handle it up there, what makes you think you can cast magic below? The dead overwhelmed me because I didn't know what to do. I wasn't in control. If I learned this incantation and harnessed them, we could have a hidden army. There are thousands of angry spirits in that arena. Amari turns to Zane. Tell her this is deranged, please. Zane crosses his arms and shifts his stance, weighing the risk as he looks between Amari and me. See if you can figure it out. After that, we'll decide. The clear night brings a freeze to the desert, almost as harsh as its beating sun. Though the chilling wind blows sand off the dunes surrounding Ibiji, sweat pours down my skin. For hours, I try to perform the incantation, but each attempt is worse than the last. After a while, I have to send Zane and Amari back to the hut we rented. At least now I can feel alone. I hold Leak and scroll up to the moonlight, trying to make sense of the Yoruba translation scribbled under the Simbaria. Since the awakening, my memory of the old tongue is precise, as clear as it was when I was young. But no matter how many times I recite the words, my ashe doesn't flow. No magic occurs. And the more my frustration builds, the more I remember I shouldn't have to do this by myself. Come on, I grit my teeth. Oya, bamisoro. If I'm risking everything to do the work of the gods, why aren't they here when I need them the most? I release a shuddering breath and sink to my knees, running my hand through the new waves in my hair. Had I been a Maji before the raid, our clan scholar would have taught me the incantations when I was young. She would have known exactly what to do to coax my Ashe out now. Oya, please. I look back at the scroll, trying to discover what I've missed. The incantation is supposed to create an animation, a spirit of the dead reincarnated into the physical materials around me. If all goes well, an animation should form out of the dunes. But it's been hours and I haven't even managed to move one grain of sand. As I run my hands over the script, the new scar across my palm makes me pause. I hold it up to the moonlight, inspecting where Leakin sliced me with the bone dagger. The memory of my blood glowing white light still fills my mind. The surge of Ashe was exhilarating, a blinding rush only blood magic can bring. If I use that now, my heartbeat quickens with the thought. The incantation would flow with ease. I'd have no problem getting a legion of animations to rise from the ground. But before the thought could tempt me further, Mama's raspy voice comes to mind. Her sunken skin, her shallow breaths, the trio of healers who toiled endlessly at her side. Promise me, she whispered, squeezing my hand after she used blood magic to bring Zane back to life. Swear it now. No matter what, you can never do it. If you do, you won't survive. I promised her, swore it on the Ashe that would one day run through my veins. I can't break my vow because I'm not strong enough to perform an incantation. But if it doesn't work, what choice will I have? This shouldn't be so hard. Just hours ago, Ashe vibrated in my blood. Now I can't feel a damn thing. Wait a minute. I stare at my hands, recalling the young diviner who bled to death before my eyes. It wasn't just his spirit I couldn't feel. I haven't sensed the pull of the dead in hours. I turn to the scroll again, searching for a hidden meaning behind its words. It's like my magic bled dry in the arena. I haven't felt anything since Manoli. The girl in white, those large empty eyes. So much happened at once. I didn't realize the girl's spirit had passed on her name. In death, the other spirits of the arena passed on their pain, their hate. In their memories, I felt the sting of the guards' whips. I tasted the salt of fallen tears on my tongue. But Manoli brought me to the dirt fields of Mina, where she and her sharp-nosed siblings worked the land for autumn's corn crop. Though the sun shone brutal and the work was hard, each moment passed with a smile, with a song. Iwo ni Igbo kanali, mi orisha, Iwo ni mo gobo le. Again, I apologize. I sing the words aloud, my voice carrying in the wind. As I repeat the lyrics, a soulful voice sings in my head. It's there that Manoli spent her final moments, foregoing the brutal arena for the peaceful farm in her mind. It's there she chose to live. There she chose to die. Manoli. I whispered the incantation into the depths of my mind. Imi awan tio tisun mokepe yin ni one. Ipada jadi ninu iya mimo yin. Sure fun mi bile ibun iabie ri. All of a sudden, sand swirls before me. I flinch backward as the mist-like vortex rises and twirls in waves before settling back to the ground. Manoli? I breathe the question aloud, though deep down I know the answer. When I close my eyes, the scent of earth fills my nose. Smooth corn seeds slip through my fingers. Her memory shines, vivid, vibrant, alive. If it resides in me with such force, I have to believe she does too. I repeat the incantation with conviction, stretching my hands out toward the sand. Manoli, I call on you today. Come forth in this new element. Bless me with your precious lot. White Senbaria leap from the parchment and rush up the skin. The symbols dance along my arms, infusing my body with new power. It hits my lungs like the first breath of air after diving underwater. As sand swirls around me with the force of a storm, a grainy figure emerges from the whirlwind, animated with the rough carvings of life. Oh my gods. I hold my breath as Manoli's spirit reaches forward with a hand of sand. Her grainy fingers brush against my cheek before the whole world fades to black. And honestly, y'all, we're going to stop right there. And I know that was really short. And it's because we're going to be changing things up here really soon. So I'll give you just a quick breakdown. We are no longer going to be reading the entirety of the book on camera. We're going to be giving breakdowns of what I read on camera. We're switching it up. I'll go into more detail on another episode, a real My Last Brain Cell episode. But until then, I appreciate you tuning in and stopping by. Sorry for the short read, but I'll see you for the new and improved Sip, Read, Repeat next time. Peace.